Welcome to this week's edition of Morning Line, the USTA's weekly news magazine. I'm Paul Ramlow.
And I'm Allison Conte. Be a Magician beat up on the boys once again this Saturday at Scioto Downs in the Charlie Hill Memorial Trot. She has been nothing short of sensational this year, with her lone loss coming in the Maxi League against Father Patrick. She was able to make the front on Saturday and get away with a leisurely 57 2 half and 126 1 3/4 before sprinting home in 27 2 for the 153 3 score.
He said to that horse of Yoder's, that was parked, he didn't give me much pressure, which I thought he would after the quarter.
So that was kind of it, as it played out, you just let her relax a little bit? Really
Yeah.
pretty good like that? She'll relax on the front end for you?
Yeah, she's push button, do anything you want.
Foiled again, the richest horse in harness racing history with $6.92 million in career purse earnings, will be making his 7th consecutive appearance in Northfield Park's Battle of Lake Erie this Friday night. The 11-year-old pacer is looking to become the first horse to win the event 3 times. He won in 2009 and 2011, joining Jaguar Spur, Peruvian Hanover, and Maltese Artist as the only horses to win the Battle of Lake Erie twice. Foiled again enters this year's battle, which at $175,000 features the largest purse in the 30-year history of the event, off a 7-week layoff because of minor throat surgery for an entrapped epiglottis. But driver Yannick Gingras feels the gelding is ready for action.
Well, before the surgery, he just had no pace anymore. You know what I mean? Like he was running out really bad, more than he has in the past. And then, it was a sign probably he couldn't get any air. And but now, he was much better as far as on the left line when I qualified him last weekend, and he had good pace. Both qualifiers, he had good pace on the end of it, and I think he's ready to go.
Foiled again drew post 5 with driver Matt Kakali in this week's Battle of Lake Erie, and is 4-1 on the morning line. Molson Pace champion state treasurer, with David Miller listed to drive for trainer Ian Moore, is the 5-2 favorite from post 7, while Luck Be With You, with Ronnie Wren Jr. driving for Chris Oakes, got post number 3 and is 7-2.
And this week, we're also looking ahead to the big eliminations at Mohawk Racetrack. Friday, we'll see the Trotters duke it out in the eliminations for the Armbro Flight and the Good Times Stakes. Jimmy Takter is, of course, loaded in the Good Times, sending to post $300,000 yearling purchase Canepa Hanover, along with French Laundry and the Bank. And the first of 2 Armbro Flight eliminations sees Charlie Hill Memorial champion Be a Magician meet up with arch rival Classic Martine. Saturday's Fan Hanover elimination renews the battle between undefeated Horse of the Year JK She's a Lady and world champion Sassa Hanover. Those two have not met in a pari-mutuel start since last year's Breeders' Crown Final. 3 North America Cup eliminations on Saturday divide the big 3 in the Glamour Boys division, Artspeak in the Arsenal and Wiglet Jiglet. All 3 are undefeated this season and have yet to face off against each other. In the Arsenal and Artspeak did meet once last year in Lexington, but Artspeak went off stride in that race. These eliminations are the prelude to the first big test of the season for them, and if all 3 make the final, we'll be set for an epic showdown next week.
Fantasy camps are quite popular these days, whether it is a baseball fantasy camp where folks get to rub shoulders with former major leaguers, or even space camp where participants get to live out the dream of becoming an astronaut. Well, nearly 24 racing fans checked off an item on their bucket list this past Sunday as they completed a class on race announcing taught by Tom Durkin and a cooperative venture between the USTA, Harness Racing Museum, and Goshen Historic Track. Durkin, who has called races for more than 40 years, including the Hambletonian, all the Thoroughbred Triple Crown races, and the Breeders' Cup, showed the class's 30-page booklets prepared for the major classics he's called, complete with an analysis of the expected pace, phrases to use in the event of wins by horses in fields that could be as large as 20, color-coding the program, and the mechanics of how you can watch a race, hold binoculars, and keep a program within eyesight.
So I'd have stacks of videotapes. This for the sprint races, for the mile turf, for the long turf, for the fillies, for the 2-year-old coach, 2-year-old the classic, blah blah. And then I to go, okay, I want to get cigar. So I go to the classic file, pull that out, put it in the machine, look up the file, reverse the tape, blah 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 blah. Well, now you go on Google, give me cigars, 4th rate, boom boom boom. It's just, it's all there. So now, I mean, what took me months and months and months to do now is just so easily available.
Durkin taught the morning class before students called the 11 matinee races held at adjacent historic track in the afternoon. Among those taking the microphone was Larry Fox.
Hot List, the lone mare in the field, lead at an open 2.5 lengths. Kevin Zapples and Joseph Chindano settle in second. 3.5, 4 lengths back for the two. Anthony Lake and Come On Mr. Brock third. Hot List is long gone as he opens up 12 and they head to the top of the stretch. The final turn of hopes and dreams, and here they come. Hot List in front by 12 or 13 lengths. Now on the outside, Come On Mr. Brock is second. Length further back to Kevin Zapples third, but through the stretch, it's all Hot List and Jason Bartlett.
And who knows, maybe Larry will be taking the microphone sometime soon at a track near you.
Also this week, the Harness Racing Social Media Initiative launched a new Harness Racing Fan Zone mobile app available for free for Apple devices. An Android version is expected to be available later this summer. I'd like to ask all of you Apple users out there to check it out and download today, and make sure you let us know what you like, what you don't, and what you want to see more of. And this week we want to know, Foiled Again is returning to action after a 7-week break and a minor surgery. After a dismal start to his season, many were calling for retirement. What do you think? Is this the swan song for harness racing's richest and longest burning star, or will he return, back and better than ever, proving the retirement advocates wrong once again? Let us know on Facebook and Twitter at US Trotting, and don't forget to hashtag #FoiledAgainForever. And this week's Tweet of the Week comes from Jay Hochstetler, reflecting on American Pharoah's historic Triple Crown victory. I'll always remember where I saw the Triple Crown race. I didn't because I was warming up my horse at Vernon. Hashtag harness racing. You've got your priorities right.
This week's edition of Paul's Paddock Picks takes a look at Friday's Battle of Lake Erie at Northfield Park. Foiled Again, as mentioned earlier, is making his 7th start in the battle and is looking for his 3rd win. Despite not racing in nearly 2 months, I think he has a real shot in here. Foiled Again prepped for the Battle of Lake Erie with 2 qualifiers at the Meadowlands. He won both in 1:51, coming the final quarter mile in 26 in the first, and in 27:2 in the most recent on June 6th. He draws in the middle of the pack in post 5 and should be in good position coming for home. A victory would put him over the $7 million plateau in career earnings. State Treasurer is the morning line favorite despite starting from post position 7 on Northfield Park's half-mile oval. In his most recent start, the 6-year-old pacer won the Molson Pace at the Raceway at Western Fair District, another half-mile racetrack, starting from post position 8 in the 2nd tier. If he can get away and get some position, I think he can finish strongly and get the place money. For show, I'm going to go with Clear Vision. A stablemate of Foiled Agains from the Ron Burke barn, Clear Vision, who won last year's Battle of Lake Erie, got post number 1 in this year's race. Winless in 10 starts in 2015, he will be driven by Chris Page. So once again in the Battle of Lake Erie, I'm going with Foiled Again to win, State Treasurer to place, and Clear Vision to show. That'll do it for this week's edition of Morning Line. Thanks for joining us, and tune in next week for all your behind-the-scenes harness racing action,
including a preview of the North America Cup Final. We'll see you next week on the Morning Line.